Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Tech Digest. Microsoft offers a Windows 10 or 11 ISO file for free. You can download and use it on your system, but it comes with a condition. You cannot personalize your system. This might not seem like a big deal, but many users make the decision to activate their free copy of Windows OS just to avoid the constant nagging. However, when you see the pricing of Windows 11, you'll realize that it isn't for the faint-hearted. The high price will tempt you to search for cheaper activation methods, and you will find multiple sites selling them for 1/3 or 1/5 of the original price. But should you buy cheap Windows activation keys? Let's decode. Are cheap Microsoft keys legit? Microsoft currently charges $139 for the home version of Windows 11 and $200 for the Pro version. You will immediately flock to Google for cheap Windows keys, but don't hastily buy from any seller on the web. These websites source the keys from wholesalers who could or could have not acquired the keys ethically. These sellers acquire keys through different tactics: buying keys in countries with low pricing, purchasing and reselling volume licensing keys, or obtaining free keys by exploiting Microsoft's education program. They are cheap because there is always a risk involved. Moreover, key selling sites usually have multiple sellers and definitely don't vouch for the purchase, so we wouldn't call them legitimate at all. Risk of using cheap Windows activation keys. Here are a few risks of purchasing cheap Windows keys that you should factor in before making a purchase. Number 1. Buying a key that doesn't work at all. You go to a third-party website and buy the cheapest key listed by a seller with confidence, but when you try to activate your computer with a freshly bought cheap Windows key, it doesn't work at all. eBay and other buying or selling platforms have abundant sellers who are purely focused on duping you. The price is so low that you cannot ignore it, and that is exactly what these sellers aim for. Even they understand the fact that buyers looking for a $5 to $10 key would likely be unaware of the scam. They just want you to pay up without jumping too much into the details. But what happens when the key won't work? For starters, they could provide another key, but that is a rare scenario. Often buyers are left with no support from the sellers who ignore them completely after the purchase. They might even take down the website or remove their seller account. Number 2. A key that works for a limited time. Quora and Reddit have countless threads of users sharing their experience with purchasing cheap Windows activation keys. If the keys work, the users leave a happy review, but that isn't the complete picture. The cheap product keys can work for some time and then expire. You could attribute the fate of such cheap Windows keys to luck because Windows will take action immediately after it becomes aware of such transactions. Some buyers even share that their cheap key continues to work, but it is difficult to verify such claims. So buying cheap keys is a gamble. You may not always end up with a key that works for a lifetime. Number 3. The key was purchased from a credit card scam. The keys are cheap and I will buy them. What do I have to lose? This is the most common thought that pops up when you proceed to buy cheap keys without evaluating their pros and cons. Not all sketchy sellers and websites are there to just earn $5 from you. They have a much bigger agenda while selling cheap Windows keys. Hackers are privy to the fact that people will search for cheap keys, and they set up fake websites to steal your credit card information. Similarly, sketchy sellers might use or sell your credit card information to hackers and profit off your reckless decision. So you might end up losing a lot more than $5 from your account if you buy insanely cheap Windows keys. Number 4. Getting OEM keys instead of retail. Microsoft offers 3 different types of Windows licenses: retail, OEM, and volume. The difference between OEM and retail keys is that OEM keys bind to a machine and are non-transferable. Meanwhile, you can use retail keys on another computer after removing them from the older system. This is a subtle difference, but if you want to switch to a new computer in the future, you must be clear about it. Sellers can misguide you into buying OEM versions. It might not seem like a big deal, but you will have to search for and buy a new key when you switch to a new system. Number 5. Getting keys for a different version. Often, the details mentioned in the description about a cheap key might not be true at all. You may get a key that is meant for an older, or even no longer supported Windows version. In addition, you may end up with a key for a different Windows version, Pro, Education, or Enterprise, so the key won't work on your system unless you reinstall the specific version of Windows OS that is meant for you. Number 6. Legal ramifications. This is the most overlooked aspect when buying cheap Windows activation keys. Microsoft will ban the licenses after it detects fraudulent key purchases using stolen credit cards. As an end user, you might not have to shoulder the blame or legal ramifications, but that doesn't mean you should indulge in illegal activities. Your cheap key will stop working, and you will see a warning message about the copy of Windows being ingenuine. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.